Okay, we're recording, so don't pick your nose or anything. Welcome to our team call. Super freaking excited. My name is Jessie, for those of you who don't know me, because I know we have two teams on tonight. So my name is Jessie. I don't know if Nicole, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Nicole Headland, and a lot of my team that's on tonight is from the Midwest area. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm from Louisiana, by the way. I didn't mention that, but not all my team who's on tonight is from Louisiana. We're kind of all spread out. So yeah, let's start. Why don't we get started? You want to start first?
Sure. So Jessie and I have, chatted back and forth a lot lately. When we were in Punta Cana, in April, we were chatting, and then we hooked up in New Orleans and had a great time. And then we were just talking after Summit, and it's like, okay, we're going into Team Cup. We still have, 5-6 months here to work with. Well, now not August, September, October, November. Yep. Oh my gosh, 5 months. And both of us were talking about, we have coaches on our team that have these fires lit under them. And we have coaches on our teams that are so capable of so much. And we were chatting, and it's like, what is holding people back, or what is it in the vital behaviors that's tricky? What can we help them with? And honestly, I'm just going to speak from experience and from myself. My fear was inviting. I wasn't trained on how to invite. I had no idea. And I am a teacher, and so I have never been in sales. I don't like selling, but yet I would hear on National Wake Up Call, I would hear, oh, I don't like sales. And it's like, well, okay, well then, like, how are you doing this? Like, how are you helping people without being salesy? And honestly, it's been a lot of learning as I go. It's been a lot of failing forward. So what we're bringing to you tonight, Jess, I think you could say the same, is we've all been there. We've all sent out invites that maybe we were like, oh, I didn't like that. Like, we've all been there. But I can personally say that I do not cold invite. So everything that I'm going to share with you tonight, it stems from conversations. And I always thought an invitation meant I was calling someone fat. I was calling someone unhealthy, and who was I to send someone a message like that? And that is so wrong. And I had to turn my mindset around. And really, when you think about the people that are in your accountability groups, a lot of them are looking for more than just weight loss, and really looking for tools to equip them for a lifestyle. And yes, it is about weight loss, but it is about so much more. So that's what I have some slides, Jess, that I'm going to share with you guys.
Awesome.
Okay, let me share my screen with you. And here we go. Okay, so the thing that I wanted to share with you first was this quote. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, and the quote is, be brave enough to start a conversation that matters. And I think that is at the root of our job. This is all about building relationships that matter, conversations that matter. And so in my mind, an invite, I like to even replace that word with conversation, because it's a simple, private message conversation that builds trust and builds connections. And so my first thing is, like, even when you're messaging people, nothing even about Beachbody, because here's the deal. If you're consistent with your posting, you're consistent with, posting about why you work out, you're consistent about sharing recipes, you're consistent about adding value and being a positive light, being vanilla. I talked to my team this week about not being vanilla on your posts. Then people already know that you're a coach. People already know that you're in health and fitness. Like, you don't have to start your conversation anything to do with that. So really, I think it starts with inviting. Inviting starts with conversations. A simple, hey, hon, I just saw you were, and now it's summer. Oh my gosh, like tons of people are traveling. I just saw you were in Duluth. I'm totally looking to go up there. How was it? Where did you stay? Boom, done, send. I think like short and sweet. Another one, like people are out and about at weddings. They're, doing different girl nights. Hey, hon, loved your dress from Saturday night. You looked amazing. You don't even have to ask a question. Just simply adding value and giving someone a compliment. Like, who doesn't want a compliment? You know what I mean? Like, that's my number one. The second thing, too, that's super easy and not hard to do is simply sending people personal birthday messages. Not on their timeline, but give them a personal message. And Lindsay Matway said this, and I want to do it, but I just haven't got that organized yet. But she had said even send, like you can see in Facebook when people's birthdays are coming up for the week, send the week before. Like, hey, hon, I see your birthday's coming up. I hope you have a fabulous day. I mean, something that simple. Questions about that? Good? Okay. The next one is inviting to free groups. Now, this is one that is more purposeful, and this is where I believe everyone needs to have free groups, if not every month, at least every other month, and, timing it right. But here's the reason that we keep track. So when people say maybe later or not right now, we have to have a spot to put them. And if you use Google Streak, that's an awesome spot. If you use Excel, whatever you use, but just have a spot where when people come back and say like, now's not a good time, then you can add them to the list so you can reach out a month or two later. So here's one. Good morning. You came to my mind as I was creating my new free group. I know we've talked about you wanting to check out my accountability group, so wondering if this is a good time for you. I can save you a spot. We're starting on Monday. And that call to action, CTA, we talked about that, and some of the team was like, what's CTA? Call to action is really letting them know, like, you have to respond to me. Like, you can't just look at it and not respond because I'm saving you a spot or we're starting on Monday. So make sure when you do invite to a free group that you have that call to action. And now, really, you guys, with On Demand, the 14-day trial, it is awesome. Like, they have totally equipped us to help so many people check this out and really get a taste of what these programs are about. Does anyone have questions on that? Okay, I feel like I'm talking really fast, so.
You're good, girl. You keep going. Because I have some stuff I want to share, too, so you're good.
Okay. Next one, we've talked about this before, but there might be some new coaches on, so I just wanted to highlight this too. Our team really focuses on spotlighting a challenger of the week and Transformation Tuesdays. People that are getting results are super important, and that's what we're here to do. We are here to get people results, and it is our job to kind of give that tough love, because that tough love is what they need. We're their coach, and then when we recognize them, dang, that feels so good. So when you do spotlight someone from your accountability group, make sure that you go on not only that day, but over a couple days later too, to see who liked it or who commented on it, because it's not just that day. And if it's their people, their own friends that liked and commented on it, send them a friend request. And then when you send them a friend request, make sure to put like, hey, thanks, great to connect with you. Thanks for showing love and support on the spotlight post of so-and-so. I love when we can recognize women for doing something for themselves and have supportive friends like you. So it's just like something very simple, but make sure you go back a couple days later. And a lot of times they'll accept your friend request, and then they'll reply, oh my gosh, of course, that's my cousin, or oh my gosh, that's my best friend. I'm so proud that she's doing this. I really need to do something. And then bada bing, bada boom, you're like, well, let's get you in the group. Join us, and that that has really been a huge, I know for me, for helping people, that has been a huge way to open my cold market. Okay, and then the next one is inviting on your timeline. Now, this one is interesting because I used to think like, oh, I'm going to put out that I'm going to have an accountability group or a challenge group, and I'm just going to have like, I'm going to be so busy, like 50 people are going to like it, and I am just going to be like so flooded with invite, people wanting to be on it. No. So here's the deal. Inviting on your timeline, that's cool. We should still do it. And you should have at least 2 posts. So you should have like an initial post maybe that goes out on a Sunday night, and then maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday before you're going to post it or start the group. And of course you want to call to action on there, like 5 spots left, or we're starting on Monday. But here's the deal. When you have the link, what I have found is include the link to your closed group. So make sure that it is a closed group that you have set up. Make sure your settings are so that you as the admin have to approve the people that are being added. But honestly, if you look at my invite from last night, I think I might have 5 or 6 people that liked it. Okay, but guess how many people I have in my free group as of today? I don't even know. Maybe like 20 or something. I don't remember. But my point is, not everyone wants to like your post or let other people know that they're liking that post, if that makes sense. And not a lot of people don't want to send you a personal message like, hey, can you help me? People don't want to do that, but people want to join a group. People want to be a part of something. You know what I mean? And so when you have a group and you have that link there, that for some reason feels good and feels safe for them. So they click on that and they are in. So that is, that's what I have about inviting. And I know I talked a lot and really, really fast. But any questions on that?
Feel free to most of you are muted, so feel free to unmute yourselves, or if you're not comfortable with that, you can use the little chat box. Does anyone have any questions?
Cole, I was going to ask you, you put the link to the actual group. You don't put the link back to the event?
No, I don't make events.
Okay.
Nope, I only make a closed group. And hold tight on this too, because in the round table is a private group for 5-star and above, and a couple coaches today just showed how you can, I'm trying to wrap around this because I looked on mine and it's not available on mine yet, but if you have a like page, you can link your group to your like page. And it's coming, they were saying, because Facebook is so into groups now, they're really wanting groups and community and everything. And so I just make a group. I don't make an event.
And you post the link in the comments of your post, not within the actual post, right?
No, in the, I've done it both ways. Thank you, hon.
At your service here.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
This is my second dinner tonight, or my second Shakeology, because we're hot here. And so, say hi. Okay, so yeah, I can bring it up too, Jess, when you're talking. I can just show you guys from my wall what I did. I usually only just put it right on my post. But I have put it in the comments too.
Okay. The only reason I say for links, don't ever because I know that there's some brand new coaches on here, don't ever put your Beachbody link.
Oh, no. I don't mean that link.
I know. I just want to make sure that it's clear. Don't ever do that, because Facebook actually, you're not allowed technically to use your personal page as a business. Facebook will flag you for that, and you can share about, I mean, what we do is not, I don't know if y'all follow any other network marketing company that like plasters, like, buy these pills for me and lose 10 pounds, right? So, and then they post their link like within the post. Facebook flags that. You can actually get like locked out of your groups. You can get locked out of Facebook. And sometimes they'll delete your account. So I don't want anyone like posting other links, but a group that you're hosting, I usually, just to be safe, post it in the comments. But it should be okay as long as it's like a group and not a link to your site to order. Okay. So make sure that that's fine.
Yeah, and it's just, here, I'll show you because I brought it up. And it's just like a, so here, like here's my picture. And then here's my link right there. Awesome. So it's something simple, but yeah, you can, I've totally put it in the comments too below. Yeah, like how many people, I can't see because the screen, oh, here. Yeah, I have like 7 people that liked it, you know. It's like, and half of those people aren't even in the group because they were already in groups. You know what I mean?
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole, it's Michelle. Are you still holding to, like, if they are people like friends of friends, they have to accept your friend request before you'll put them in your closed group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's a really good question too. I started a community fit club in our community that I host, and through the community page, like I just put who's interested in a free workout group, and like literally 100 people, over 100 people wanted to be in it. So I put the link, I said join here, but I wanted to make sure that I was friends with them because well, a couple reasons. I wanted to personally message them because a lot of people like can have injuries, and like some people I literally told like, oh, please, that would be dangerous if you came. So it was really, I think it's really important that when you do host a group, any kind of group, that you are friends with them and you're able to connect personally. Like you don't just add them and then be like, woo, okay, you're just going to see this information. But when they're in your group, any group, free group especially, get to know them and personally message them, because some people too don't realize, you know, like having bad knees or something, they shouldn't be doing. Like a lot of our workouts are intense, you know, and so you can modify, but I don't want to be responsible for you getting hurt.
I have a question to Nicole. So how do you, I mean, I know what I do, but for our newer coaches on here, how do you transition your people from your free group into getting them paid, like getting them to order a challenge pack or getting them to get into a paid group?
Yeah. So on the last day of the free group, like right now I just started a free group, and it's kind of fun. I've never done this one, but it's a glimpse into what an accountability group is. So it just like naturally is going to lead into what my next group's going to be. And I just focus on, I pump it with people that have gotten real results, because I think that's what people want to see. So I just share real results. I share what, you know, the opportunity has for them. And then I also go through and share the containers, the Shakeology, the streaming, basically like as much visual things as I can show them, I do.
Awesome. Anyone else have questions for Nicole? No? Yes? Maybe so? If y'all think of any, please feel free to like interrupt me or just comment and we'll get to them. We'll have like a little Q&A at the end too. So I'm going to show y'all kind of, or I didn't have slides. I'm not fancy. I don't have any slides, but I do want to show y'all kind of what I do when it comes to inviting, because I also have never cold messaged anyone. Meaning I don't randomly send out messages saying, hey, how are you? Do you want to join my challenge group? Like, that's just not me. It's not, I've never done that. I've never wanted to do that. And I don't think that anyone really has to do that. I definitely agree with Nicole, and you want to form that relationship first. You want to start that conversation. So what I personally do is I do similar things as far as like sending them messages, you know, asking questions or getting to know them a little bit. You know, like she said, just starting that conversation. Oh, saw you went to Destin this weekend. How was it? I'm planning on going there in a few weeks, whatever you want to say, right? But the easiest way for me to start to start that conversation has been actually to look at the people that are engaging on my post. So if people are liking my post or commenting on my post, it's super simple and super easy for me to just go to the people that are liking it, send them a message, and just thank them for showing me support. So all I say is like, hey girl, I just wanted to say thank you so much for showing me love on my post the other day. It truly means the world to me. You know, just thank them. Thank them for supporting you and for following you. And then usually I say, are you on your health and fitness journey too? They're either going to say no, and they usually say a reason why not. Like, no, I don't really have time. No, you know, I've fallen off too much or whatever. Good segue to, you know, bring up what you do. Or they'll tell you yes, and then you can start that conversation. Sometimes it doesn't lead to Beachbody. Sometimes it just kind of changes into a different conversation, which is totally fine. But it's just a good way to kind of break that ice. Another thing that I've done lately, and it's really, really helped get more eyes on my page, more people commenting and liking my stuff. If you're sitting here thinking like, okay, well, I make posts and the same 3 people, my mom, my dad, and my brother are the only people that like my stuff, right? Like, I know some of you are thinking it because I used to think the same thing. I'm like, Mom, stop liking my stuff because you're the only one that likes it. And then I look like a loser, right? So if you're sitting here thinking like, how do I get more people engaging on my posts? How do I get more people liking my posts? So I've shared this with my team before, and I don't, and it's something that I actually just learned about recently from Doug Moss, who is someone that works at corporate. He shared it with me when we had a one-on-one meeting, and pretty much what he suggested was going down your friends list and don't just send them a message. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to go look on their page. I want you to go to their most recent post. Don't go back to 2004 and comment on something, because then you're going to look like a stalker. But just go on their most recent post or on their profile picture, or if they have like a cool cover photo of their dog or their kids or whatever it might be, and ask a question. Super simple. If they have a picture of their dog, oh my God, this is the cutest dog ever. What kind of dog is it? Simple, right? Or if they have a really cute dress on and you're like, hey girl, where'd you get that dress? It's really cute, right? The dog just opened the door. So, you know, all you have to do is go and comment on their post. And what that does is the moment that they comment back, the moment that they answer your question, Facebook, what is it? Algorithm. Facebook has like an algorithm where it links you to them. The people that show up in your newsfeed, you probably see, who here sees like Beachbody coaches every day in their newsfeed, right? Like all I have is Beachbody coach, Beachbody coach, Beachbody coach. And it's because it's normally my team. It's normally the people that I'm tagged in pictures with. It's normally the people that I'm engaged with, right? That we're talking through our groups. We're talking through private messages. I'm commenting and liking their stuff to show support, right? And they're doing the same for me. So those are the people that are showing up in your newsfeed. But when you start engaging with other people that are not Beachbody coaches, and Facebook automatically thinks like, oh, they're friends. They're interacting with one another. So your posts are going to start showing up in those people's newsfeeds, just like their posts are going to start showing up in your newsfeed. So it's a good way to just get more eyes and different people on your newsfeeds, on your posts. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope that wasn't like too confusing. So I try and do that. So, you know, I know some people say like invite 3 people every day. I don't necessarily send out messages every single day. That's just me personally. But I do connect. I call them connects. I connect with, you know, 5-10 people a day. And that's just me posting on their posts and asking a question. Does it work the same if you just like? No, because there's no way for them to engage back with you. That's the whole purpose of asking a question. Or even, I mean, you don't necessarily, the reason why I say ask a question, and obviously make it relatable to that picture. Like, don't just be like, hey, what's your favorite color? Like, ask a question that has something to do with the picture. And y'all, and no, it sounds so awkward, and you're like, well, what am I supposed to ask this person? Like, the more you do it, the easier it gets, because you're like, oh, they have a picture. And especially if you're like a mom and you relate to moms and they have kids, like, ask a question. If they make a post about their kids potty training, like, ask a question about it, you know? Or just if someone asks for recommendations, they're already asking you for recommendations. Comment on that post. And, you know, I made a post the other day or a few weeks ago about honeymoon destinations. Like, hey, where do I go on my honeymoon? And had a bazillion people commenting on it. So, you know what I did? I didn't just let them comment. I commented back, and I went through each one commenting on it, because guess what? When I engage more with them, they see more of my posts. Does that make sense? Okay. Sorry, I get like distracted by the comments. So I just want to make sure no one was asking another question. So yeah, so when you do that, it just gets more people liking your stuff. It gets more people commenting on your stuff. You'll notice I have more people reaching out to me, and not that I don't ever have to reach out to people, because I do. I don't want you to think like you're gonna do this for a day and all these people are gonna come rushing in. Like, you still have to put in that effort to make those relationships and build those relationships, make those conversations. But it just does make it a little bit easier for you. So that's what I do as far as connecting with people and starting those conversations. It makes it just a little bit easier for me. I do also, we're actually having a challenge group sneak peek as well, starting in a few weeks or starting next week. But I actually run mine as an event page. So I do mine a little different than Nicole. My groups themselves are always a private group through Facebook. But anytime I run a challenge group, anytime I run a sneak peek, I've always done it through an event page. And the reason why I've done that is because when you're doing it through an event page, if you go live, or if one of your friends clicks going to your event page and they start watching your live video, sometimes it notifies their friends that they're going to your event page. So I don't know if you've ever seen that in your newsfeed, like Nicole Hudlin's going to Jessie Burr's Clean Free Eating group, right? And then they go to that event and they're like, well, what's this about? So then they start looking. And yeah, you're not friends with all those people, so that's kind of like the downfall of it. But you can always friend request. You know, I've noticed, like, we've done coach sneak peeks that are event pages, and I've noticed when I'm live, people hop on that haven't clicked, you know, going or going or interested or whatever. There weren't people that I personally invited to the sneak peek, but they hop on and they're liking stuff and they're commenting on stuff. So then it just opens those doors to even more people. So I do run event pages. I run them for every challenge group that I do. I create an event page. And I invite the people that I've either spoken with recently, maybe in the past that, you know, were on the fence. I don't just invite them though to the event page and like let them see the event. I still start those conversations like Nicole said she does. I send them a message when I see someone click going or interested to my event. I send them a message just saying, hey girl, I saw you're interested in my event page. You know, if it's a sneak peek, then I'll tell them, you know, make sure you're on if it's a specific day or whatever, because I run my coach sneak peeks like for one day. So I'll say, you know, make sure you're on at 8 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. We're going to be sharing all about coaching and what it is. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If it is a challenge group event, which I'm going to actually show y'all my last one in a few minutes, I'll share my screen. But if it's a challenge group event, I start that conversation by, hey girl, I saw you're interested in my Shift Shop test group. I just wanted to reach out and talk to you about your goals. What are you currently doing for your exercise and fitness right now? And what's your biggest struggle when it comes to health and fitness? Those are like the 3 questions I ask from the start, okay? Because I want to know what their goals are. I want to know if they're currently doing any type of exercise. And then I also want to know if they're struggling, what their biggest struggle is. So they tell me it's motivation. Guess what I'm going to talk about? Or accountability. I'm going to talk about my challenge groups. If they talk about the time limit, I'm going to talk about the short workouts, right? If they talk about the nutrition side, then that's what I'm going to hone in on. And yes, I'll bring up the other stuff, but it's more geared towards that person and their goals and what they need from me, right? Because everybody's different. So does that make sense?
Yeah, Jess, do you have, like I started saving my scripts, you know what I mean? So I don't have to type everything up, every time. Do you have those 3 questions like that you
I can, I can actually send them. I'll send it to you, and you can post it in your team page.
Cool.
I actually have a video, I think. I'll have to look for it. I have a video. I call it my conversation flow. So I start with those 3 questions no matter what, y'all. Even if I'm not inviting. If someone sends me a message that says, how much is Shakeology? I do not immediately say, oh, it's $130. Like, I always say, girl, I would love to send you more information. But first, I ask those 3 questions, no matter what. No matter what. What are your goals? What are your goals? What are you currently doing for health and fitness? And what is your biggest struggle? Because if they tell me their goals, if they're asking me about Shakeology and then they say, well, my goal is to lose weight. We all know Shakeology is not a weight loss shake, right? So I'm not going to get them to buy Shakeology if their goal is to lose weight. That's not what they need. They need a fitness program, and yes, Shakeology will help, but that's kind of when you can start that conversation and just flow into that. So no matter what, that's my conversation flow. And then I gear it, like I said, towards those people. So if they're telling me their biggest struggle is time, if they're telling me their biggest struggle is, they failed so many times before because they've tried all this other stuff, and it didn't work, then I relate to them somehow because that was my struggle. So, if you can relate to that struggle, then try your best to relate to it. I mean, don't pretend like you struggle with time limits if you don't, but just try and relate to that struggle with them, or explain hey, if they tell you, I have a lot of busy moms. I'm not a mom. I'm not. So I don't understand, I'm not on that same level. Y'all are freaking super women, and I don't understand how y'all do it because I have dogs, and I'm like, what do you want from me, right? I don't understand. So, if they tell me they're a busy mom, I said, girl, I work with a lot of busy moms. So they totally understand. I get it. We, in our groups, we have a ton of busy moms who are always willing to help, always willing to give, advice and help. I go through that. So make sure, when they are telling you you're struggling, you're not just like, okay, well, I can help, and send them this long thing about your challenge pack. Tell them how you can help them. Give them the solution to their problem. You are that solution, and you have the tools for that. So that's what you have to do. You have to give them that solution and tell them that solution to their struggle, right? So I'm going to share. Does anyone have any questions before I go and share my page?
Jessie, what was the 3rd thing you asked? What are your goals? What are you currently doing? And then what was the last one?
What is their biggest struggle with health and fitness? Usually I just say, what's your biggest struggle with health and fitness? Because that right there, y'all, that's why they want to join. They want to join because they want to, lose weight or whatever. But it's mainly their struggle. They want to get past that struggle. They want to overcome that struggle. So that's really what I hone in on is, I obviously want to know their goals, and we talk about their goals. But their struggle most of the time is part of their why, which we talk about too. In my initial conversation, I try and talk about well, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to lose weight? Right? You don't want to just lose weight just to lose weight. There's a reason behind it. So you really have to dig deep with these people. And I know it's hard when you're first starting that conversation. But that's kind of why I build it up. That's why I ask those questions, because then when we start to get into the personal, well, why do you want to lose weight? What would that mean for you to lose 15 pounds? And that way, when they are starting to give you those excuses, okay, let's take a step back and talk about, like you said, what would it mean to you to lose that 15 pounds? If it means not crying in the shower anymore, or feeling confident in front of your husband, would it be worth, $160 for you to wake up and love yourself and feel confident and beautiful? Normally they say yes, right? So I'm going to show y'all a little event page that I ran. So I do a lot on my page. I have been through a page training. I do ads sometimes, not all the time, but I do ads. So I want to make this clear before I go to my page. Do not do ads on a page if you have no idea what you're doing. I don't want anyone wasting money. I don't want anyone just putting in all this effort, because I used to do that before I did this training. I was putting in all this time and money, and I had no clue what I was doing, and I wasn't targeting the right people, and I wasn't, I was just getting all these likes that weren't really engaging on my page. But when I did this training, it shifted. So I want to just make sure that you know, like, you don't necessarily need a like page to be successful. I know Nicole, I think, runs mainly just from her personal page, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So
I have a like page, but I didn't complete the training.
yeah. So it's totally up to you all. And y'all, just to tell you, I didn't do a like page. Like, I created one maybe 7 months into coaching. I've been coaching for 3.5 years. But I didn't start to actually build my like page and like invest in ads that I knew what I was doing. Investing in ads and like doing the things that I implemented or learned in the training probably until almost 2 years into coaching, because I didn't need to, because you have a warm market, you have friends and family, you have their friends and family and their friends and family that, you know, you can ask for referrals and you can connect with them. I was starting to run out of that, and that's kind of why I leaned more towards my like page. But now I'm kind of flipping between both as far as my market goes. But I just want to make sure that that's clear. So let me share so I run all my events through my like page, just in case I do want to do it as an ad. But I don't always run them as an ad. Sometimes I just invite the people that I've talked to in the past, people that, you know, have shown interest. I never just go down my friends list and invite. Like, I don't do that because that's not going to really do any good. It's people that I've spoken to. It's people that have shown interest and never followed through. It's people that have, you know, commented that they want in on my next challenge group or whatever it might be. So I kind of have, like, I guess I wouldn't call them scripts, but I kind of go through my old groups or my old events, and I just kind of copy and paste, and I'll change things every once in a while. Just because I am inviting some of the same people, so I don't want the same exact post in every single event that I have. But I always make an event about 2 to 3 weeks before my next challenge group. So that gives me enough time to post in there. It gives me enough time to invite. It gives me enough time to build those relationships. I don't do this the week before a challenge group or during prep week, because that doesn't give me time to have those conversations and to start to invite. So, like I said, I invite the people that I've spoken with. And then I go in and I just post kind of like a sneak peek. Like, I share different things. I go live in there to talk about, you know, Beachbody On Demand. I talk about, you know, when someone signs up, I do like a little like official test group participant. This was something I did new for this specific one. I never did that before, but I loved it because it just showed people were starting to sign up. People don't want to miss out. Like Nicole said earlier, people want to feel and be a part of something. So when you are showing that, hey, Janine's signing up, she's super excited, you know, you give her a little recognition, you give her a little shout out, other people start to say, man, she's doing it, and she's doing it, and she's doing it. Like, I need to do this. It just gets them more inclined to say, you know what, all these other women are signing up, and if she can do it, I can do it, right? This one, you know, I ran a little differently because, again, this was with Shift Shop. I don't normally do just like a Shift Shop exclusive or a program exclusive group. I usually let them pick, but because of the new program, I kind of changed up a little bit. You know, I share results. I share my challengers. These are my personal challengers results, my coaches results. I, you know, just share different things. And you'll see, like, people are saying, like, interested, more details. I'd love to try this. Now, not everyone signs up. Not everyone. I think I had like 60-something people that said they were going. Obviously, I didn't have 120 Success Club points, right? But it's still these. And what's good about these events is you can go back I can go back to my events from last year and look to see who was going and look to see who clicked interested. And I can re-invite them to my next group, or I can go start that conversation. So that's another reason why I like events, because with groups, you know, people are a part of all these groups. It's hard to kind of keep up with like where you're putting them after, like once that free group's ending. You know, for me, I am not an organized person, y'all. I have Google Streak. it's a hot freaking mess for me. I've tried Asana. I've tried Teamsy. I'm a paper pen person. I have sticky notes everywhere. It's just, for me, I am just not organized. So this helps me stay organized with the people that I've talked to or the people that I've shown interest in the past, okay? So again, like I always, and with the events, I do tell them, I try and remember to tell them to message me or friend request me so I can connect with them. Because again, if you're getting like friends of friends and you're not friends with them, if you send them a message, they don't always get it if they don't have Messenger and you're not friends with them. So make sure you are friend requesting the people that are interested. I also did this, which was a suggestion from Summit, make a list of the people that are joining you. Write out their names so people can see it. So you're kind of giving them that extra recognition. And I had a lot of people sending me messages after I posted that, like, I want that last few spots or, whatever. It just gives that like FOMO, fear of missing out. It kind of gives that to them. Does anyone, and let me actually show y'all one more that I wanted to, because that was a little different than what I normally run them. And you can create an event page from your personal page, by the way. You don't need a like page to create an event. But again, I don't just like send out event invites and then that's it. Like the people that I'm inviting, I have conversations with. I let them know, hey, I sent you, I don't know if you're interested, but I'm having this little like sneak peek into a challenge group. So all my event pages are pretty much ran like a sneak peek. I post in there, like I said, I start this event page probably 2 to 3 weeks before, and I'm posting in there every few days. You can, I don't know if anyone uses Postcron, postcron.com, but you can actually schedule out your post using Postcron with an event page. So if like, okay, I'm going on vacation a week or two before, my challenge group. So you can schedule out these posts, y'all, and then it's automatically on there. And I mean, I'm not saying not to go and engage in there and answer questions. Obviously do that. But it does help a little bit when you're not having to worry about going in there every day or every few days to post. And then the week before prep week, I am in there every day. I'm either going live in there, like I said, or I'm just like pumping it up, getting people excited, asking questions, just getting to know people. This is not which one did I want to show y'all. Does anyone, I can't see the little thread because I'm sharing my screen, and that's me and my boyfriend, fiance. Weird to say. Our big sweaty selfie faces. Sorry, I'm trying to get to an older one that I wanted to show y'all. Does anyone have questions? I don't know if anyone asked the question.
Somebody asked on the chat if you run your challenge groups from that same event page or if you do something
No,
different.
I do a private group. So once they sign up with me, I let them know, like, say they sign up the week before prep week. I say, hey, I'm, going to be creating a private group. Once they're signed up with their challenge packs, I create a private group that I put them in. All of my challenge groups are ran through a private group because we share personal things in there. I don't want people, an event page, you can make private, but then when you go live or when someone like clicks going, it doesn't show up in other people's news feeds. So when I keep mine public, and once they are, that's kind of how I transition them into a private group. Like once they signed up, then I put them into a private challenge group through Facebook. And then, again, those people that haven't signed up or kind of on the fence or whatever can at least ask questions. It's just like a challenge group sneak peek, but I do this every time I run a challenge group. I create an event. And it just, again, makes it easier for me to keep track of people that maybe haven't signed up yet or have been on the fence. And then sometimes I will put like, hey, if you've not been added to the group and you want to be added, I usually do that like the 2 or 3 days before prep week. Like make sure you request to join. But again, I do not allow people in my paid groups that haven't purchased or haven't signed up yet. So again, y'all, like I share, and you can literally copy and paste like from your past events to just share like what's all included. If I make a really good post on my personal page or on my like page, I'll copy and paste it and put it in here. I share just different things. I talk about the food plan. I talk about, again, my challenge groups, the accountability. I talk about, this was a post from forever ago that I just reused. So it's not like you have to come up with like all this new content once you do it a few times. And again, I do change it up a bit. I mean, this was a summer group, so obviously talked about losing weight for the summer. But once you have like your set of like what you want to talk about, and I do the same things with my coach sneak peeks. It's similar things. I share similar posts. And then obviously when I go live, that's not the same every time because you never know what you're going to say when you're live. Does anyone else have questions? Does that make sense? Does that help?
Jessie, do you use the same event page?
No, I create a new one every time. So
Okay.
if you go on my like page and you go click events, you're going to see every event that I've ever created is on there. So
Okay.
it'll say from September of last year, it will say like what I named the events, from everything. So you can go in it, you can go look at the posts. I mean, y'all are more than welcome, y'all. Like, I don't mind if y'all go in there and y'all take those ideas and run with it. Like, obviously, if I shared something personal and like it's my story, make it into your own. People will read right through that because I've said like, oh, take those ideas and run with it, and then it's like the same copy thing. And that's not you, and people will read right through that. But if you take those ideas and at least like say, okay, today I'm going to talk about the food part of it. And a lot of times, y'all, the most engagement that I get with these events or with this inviting process, it's when I go live and I'm sharing my journey, or I'll even ask some of my challengers or my coaches like, hey, do you want to help me co-run this event page? And you can go live and you can share a little bit about you, or your story, or, you know, like if you can get your fellow coaches or your upline or someone that has an amazing transformation that wouldn't mind going live for 5 minutes in your event page and saying like what Shakeology's done for them, or, you know, why they chose or why they love your groups, why they chose to join your groups instead of getting a gym membership, like whatever it might be. If you can make it more personal and have people get to know you through these groups, like I promise you, inviting won't be so bad. So I hope that that's really it. I know we have like 10 minutes left. So I want to open it up to ask, you know, be able to ask questions, or, you know, if y'all have questions for Nicole or whatever, y'all are more than welcome.
Jessie, you may have said this, but when do you start the event again? Like 2 weeks before your prep week?
Yeah, so I usually do it. So for example, my next challenge group's prep week starts the 14th of August. So I just created it today. And I don't allow anyone past the Friday of my prep week to be added to my groups, because our prep week is so detailed and so much information that I don't want people like joining the group on a Monday of when everything kicks off and then they didn't get to watch any of the prep week videos. So I usually like allow people on Fridays, like pushing. I try and keep it to Wednesday, but sometimes I have little stragglers that come in at the end. So I started the event page today. And again, I'm running it as like a team-wide challenge group sneak peek, for our next event or for our next challenge group. And I'll just post in there throughout this week a little bit. Next week officially starts the sneak peek. So I'll post a lot more in there. So the week before prep week is when I am like all in. Like I'm literally treating it like a free group. I mean, it is pretty much a free group. It's just an event page. It's not a private group. So, you know, I am pouring into it. I'm answering questions. I'm showing up. Like I said, if you need to schedule out your post, you can do that. I wouldn't do that for every single post. I mean, I would go in there personally and invite and talk to people, right? Go live, answer questions. You can even do like a little live Q&A if you want, to try and answer any questions that people may have, that type of thing. Go live during your workout in there and just show them a little sneak peek. Like, y'all can literally do whatever you want in it. It's just like a free group, but that way they have the time to sign up. So I usually do it like 2 to 3 weeks before. Any other questions? Does anyone like have specific, or does anyone have like something that y'all do for inviting that works or that doesn't work? Anyone? No? Yes, maybe so. Nicole, you want to say anything?
Yes. one thing I did think about was in your messages, I don't know about you, Jessie, but with mine, I find it to be short and sweet. A lot of times I used to ask maybe more questions, like too many questions, and then the people would be like, well, I don't even know where to start. So, like, you know, I was similar to you, like when you said your 3 things, it kind of reminded me, like my go-to question always, like if they just say like, can you help me? Like my question, or I want to do Shakeology, or tell me about Shakeology is, you know, well, let's just start with your goals. Do you have, you know, what are your goals? Weight loss, toning up, nutrition. And I just keep it very, very short and sweet, because then, and someone put in the chat, now my chat box is down, but keep asking questions. You want the conversation to keep going. And Darren Hardy said that at Summit, you know, just keep asking questions, because that people want to talk about themselves. They want help, but with your good questions, you can really get to the root of how to help them.
Yeah. 100% agree. The more questions, the better. Oh,
Yeah.
and also, like, when it does get to the time of, like, explaining or breaking down the challenge pack or whatever, something that I used to send y'all, like, a novel. Like, it was literally, like, pages that because I didn't want to leave everything out, and I was so excited, and I was like, oh, I need to tell them about the meal plan, and then I need to tell them everything about Shakeology, and then I need to tell them, you know, everything about our challenge group. I used to do that, and you know, it's intimidating. Like, they, like, get it, and they're like, oh, my gosh, this is so much information. Like, you know, it takes them forever to process it, and then they're like, it's scary. So try, and if you can, and I know this is scary, I still hate this, try and get them on the phone, to be honest. If you can get them on the phone and say, hey, look, I'd love to explain, like, more about this challenge pack, but it might be easier if we can, like, get on the phone and just chat it out. That way, like, they can hear your excitement, right? And you're not having, like, they can ask questions. It's more natural instead of, like, typing away. So if you can do that, great. If you're not comfortable, because as a new coach, I would have been like, I am not talking on the phone. There is no way you're getting me on the phone, because what if I say something bad, or what if I say something wrong, or whatever it might be. If you can't do that, another thing that I've done is I actually I got on Zoom by myself, and I recorded a video of me, and I can share it with y'all. I uploaded it I have a YouTube channel, but it's like all team calls. It's nothing like training or anything really. But I uploaded it to YouTube, and it's just a link, and I send them the link and say, you know, this is more about our challenge pack. And it's me showing them Beach Bayou on Demand, literally walking them through, like, this is what you get. And I talk a little bit about Shakeology, and I show them the containers, and I show them the meal plan guide, and I talk about our challenge groups. And it's short video, y'all, 6 minutes, I think, maybe. It might be a little bit longer than that, because I do babble, but if you couldn't tell. So if you would rather that than getting on the phone, and then you're not having to, like, retype everything or copy and paste everything. It's just a link that you say, like, this is all the details about the challenge pack. Let me know what you think if you have any questions. So that way you're not having to, like, redo that all the time. And in the beginning, like I said, it's awkward to, like, see yourself on video, but it is a lot easier. I would, number one, get them on the phone if you can. But if you're not comfortable with that, then that would be my next step.
Yeah, and I would say, Sarah, you had a really good tip too this last week, because you were emailing with your lead, and then you were able to connect with your lead and the leads too. Do you want to share about that, Sarah?
Yeah, I had I had emailed her, you know, like right after she signed up for her 30-day free trial, and didn't hear back. And so I texted her a few weeks later, didn't hear back. And then I texted her last week, and then she just randomly texted me yesterday and, like, told me her whole story about, you know, how much she weighs and how much she wants to lose, and all her problems she has with losing. And so I said, would you have time to chat for a few minutes? And so we set up a time to talk, and we were on the phone for like 45 minutes just chatting. Like, it was like talking to a friend, and she was paying for the quarterly membership, and she ended up getting off the phone with me and calling customer relations and canceling her her quarterly membership and getting an all access challenge pack, because she had heard of the 21-day fix, but she didn't really know anything about it. And I mean, she had tried every diet out there. And, you know, when I told her about this, she was like, oh, and the workouts, like she was doing Insanity and P90X3, and her knees were really bothering her. So I'm like, well, let's try something maybe not quite so impact. And she had heard of Shakeology, but didn't really know anything about it. And she wanted it all. So she got it all.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely be emailing your leads, y'all, if you get them. If you're new, I have some brand new coaches on here, so they're probably like, what the heck is a lead? If you're new, once you hit Emerald rank, you actually, and you're hitting Success Club, meaning you're helping at least 3 people a month, you get free leads. So if someone goes to beachbody.com, or someone is sitting on their sofa at, 2 a.m. eating cake and ice cream, looking at Beachbody infomercials, and they decide to call and order a program, they assign those people who don't order through a coach a random coach, and that random coach, if you're hitting Success Club and you're Emerald or above, could be you. So they assign you to them, and then it's your responsibility to reach out to them. But like she said, like, a lot of them don't answer right away. I know a lot of them have told me, like, oh, I thought you were like a robot. Like, they don't realize, people don't realize what a coach is. They don't realize what, that we're real people. So if you reach out to them, my suggestion is put your Facebook link. If you want them to connect with you on Facebook, put your Facebook link and say, hey, send me a friend request, or, talk about your challenge groups a tiny bit. My first initial message to them is super short and super sweet, but it's just, hey, I'm your coach, introduce yourself a little bit, and then say, I run online accountability groups every month. I would love to hear about your goals and, just chat with you about it. Feel free to send me a friend request or text me, or however you want to connect with them. Because it really does help. And you never know, that girl could become a rock star coach in your team later down the road, right? If they love their Shakeology and they love your challenge groups, you never know. So that is awesome. Does anyone else, I know it's 8:59, so we got 1 minute. Does anyone else have any other questions about inviting, about event pages, free groups, anything like that?
I just want to take a picture.
That's fine. We can take a picture. So everybody smile. We might have to take 2 because there's 2.
Yeah, we do. This is awesome. Say cheese, y'all.
Cheese.
I don't say y'all very good. Can you
Y'all.
tell?
You're not saying yourself. All right.
Okay, here's another one. Say cheese. Oh, look at these beautiful smiles.
Love it. All right. If y'all think of any questions, where do the leads go into your online office? So they'll just show up as in your online office when it says you have 1 new customer, all the way at the bottom to the left. If they give you a lead, it will show up right there for that week. It will say you have 1 new customer, and then if you click on it, and it will say customer, what is it? I don't even know. If it doesn't say my program, my website or my site, where it says where
customer program.
Yeah, customer program or customer lead, something like that. So it'll be on there. But if you think of any questions for me or Nicole, please feel free to ask in your team pages or anything. I mean, y'all are more than welcome to message me if you have a question about any of what I talked about. And I'm sure Nicole, will answer any of your questions as well. So this is fun. I like this.
Yes.
Yay.
I hope it was helpful for you guys. Seriously, we're better together. So the more questions you ask and add to it, the better it is.
Yep. All right. Well, I hope you'll have a great night.